Phoenix Suns. Steve, thank you for trading me in the wee hours of night. But no, Ernie, seriously, what I like about this guy, he's humble. He doesn't toot his own horn, or he doesn't think he's right all the time. He should do great at the Warriors organization.
How do you know it was in the wee hours of the night when you were traded?
Because I went.
So he didn't call you and wake you up at like 4 or 5 and say, get out?
And then when I called him back, it was, doo-doo-doo, this number has been changed. Doo-doo-doo, this number has been changed. Thanks, Steve Kerr.
Time to go courtside to Kevin Harlan.
An off-kilter look at the iconic Golden Gate Bridge, a symbol of California and the San Francisco Bay Area. We've got NBA basketball in store for you. We're live at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California, the home of the Warriors, live on 2K Sports. Welcome to the NBA. Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg for 2K Sports for this Friday afternoon broadcast. All right, let's set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for San Antonio. Down low, it's Duncan and Splitter. Green teams with Leonard on the wings, and it's Parker in at the point guard.
You know, for a long time, people would think about the Spurs as a slow-it-down team, but they've had an explosive offense the past few seasons.
Now, here's Thompson. Here's Curry. Got it from 16 feet.
You know, that's one way he can finish, but not the only way. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
And here is Parker. He feeds it to Leonard. Passes it to Duncan. Back to Leonard. Kicks to Splitter. Spurs passing it around. Shot clock at 5. Duncan. Thompson with the rebound. Here's Golden State. Barnes sets a screen for Thompson. Good, and Curry gets the assist.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Now let's find out what head coach Greg Popovich had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
He told me he's a fan of Andre Iguodala, especially the way he's developed his outside shot. He said that was one weakness. He could do everything else, pass, handle, and finish. And boy, what a defender. But now that he's developed that jump shot, there are really no weaknesses in his game. Guys, that makes it awfully tough to deal with a guy who can impact the game in that many ways. Back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Here is Parker. Harrison Barnes picking up that last basket. Parker kicks to Duncan. Connects on the foul line jumper. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Well, Tim Duncan, in a lot of ways, the epitome of Steve's substance over style.
Yeah, no doubt, Kevin, both in terms of his game and his personality. He's just a winner and a leader, but he does it in such a quiet fashion that sometimes people forget to take notice.
And when I think about Duncan's leadership, man, I could go on and on. I don't even know if I have enough time, but one of the things that stands out is he's never put himself above his teammates or the staff, and he allows himself to be coached extremely hard by Greg Popovich. He's relentless, dedicated, and in many ways he can lead without saying a word.
Clock at 4. Here's Parker. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. The drive by Iguodala. And again, no good by Golden State.
You talk about Duncan allowing Pop to get into him. I think really he's his own toughest critic. As great as he is, he's hard on himself. He's pushed himself to become great.
Now here's Parker. Parker, a screen on Barnes. Here's Leonard. From down in the low post, it goes. Leonard's got his first basket. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, Curry kicks to Green. Green with a screen on Green. It's
To the rack for the big throwdown.
And give an unofficial assist, Clark, to his teammate for setting the screen that freed him up.
Yeah, good call, Kevin. That was really the key to the play.
Now here's Leonard. And the wide open shot from Green. Nailed from three-point land. Green's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Curry passes to Barnes. We've got 1:23 left in the first quarter. And Thompson kicks to Green. Baseline J on the way. No good off the front iron.
You know, Golden State historically has always been a dangerous offensive team, but it's really their defensive improvement that triggered their elevation into the upper echelon of the NBA now.
Splitter inside, covered by Barnes, and stolen by Barnes. It's Thompson off the drive, and he dumps it down.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
Here's Duncan following the score by Golden State and hit the turnaround jumper. And the defensive improvement for Golden State has kind of been piece by piece. They've had the right strategy and motivation, certainly from the coaching staff. Obviously, Steve, a healthy Andrew Bogut has helped.
Yeah, I'm just impressed with what they've done the last couple of years in terms of their attitude, their personnel, the mindset to become more defensive-minded and a much better rebounding club as well.
Parker dishes to Duncan. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
The Spurs shooting their first free throws of the game. Enzo Duncan nails them both. Now here is Barbosa. No good. Great D that time from Duncan. And the basket by Bogut.
Boy, where was the box out? Too easy on that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, no box out is what happened there. Those kind of mistakes on the glass will kill a team.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Warriors.
And they're knocking down that mid-range jumper so far.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
On the court for San Antonio, Mills and Manu at the guards. Boris Diaw is out there with Aaron Baines. And it's Bellinelli in at the 3, the small forward. Here's Bellinelli. Shot clock at 6. Ginobili attacking. And that one's good. Ginobili's got the opening basket here in the second quarter for the Spurs.
Head coach Greg Popovich, a big believer in what he calls corporate knowledge, the idea that continuity breeds success through players truly understanding the system at a deep level.
That's good. Here's Mills. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Dishes to Diaw. Baines passes to Mills. And Ginobili wide open. He shoots. Again, the Spurs good for 2. Here is Livingston. And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Patty Mills last season had his best season ever. Really remade his body in the offseason, adding muscle, cutting down on his body fat. Already one of the quickest players in the league. He got even quicker.
Barnes, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. His message to them was all about getting high percentage shots and having the crisp ball movement on the perimeter that it takes to get those shots. The other thing he stressed was the need to be disciplined on offense. He asked for good ball movement and good shot selection. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
And thanks for that story, Doris. So they take the lead. And Mills getting quality minutes at the backup point guard position.
Yeah, and for a player who spent time in the D-League, playing in China and his native Australia, it seems he's really solidified his place as an NBA player, Kevin, in part because he's refocused on conditioning his body and really developed as an outside shooter, too.
Here's Ginobili. 7 points in the game. Diaw, the screen. Ginobili kicks to Diaw. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Diaw's got his first basket.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
Here is Livingston. Golden State moving it around. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
This could be a back and forth game all the way, guys, the way it's being played. This is fun to watch.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Well, some changes here for the Warriors. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Bogut. Klay Thompson comes in for Leandro Barbosa. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. San Antonio also making some changes. Leonard, he's checked in for Bellinelli. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And Parker subbed in for Patty Mills. Now here's Leonard. Barnes grabs the miss.
Well, a huge part of the defensive turnaround for the Warriors has been the improvement in their rebounding. In fact, they were dead last for 5 straight seasons from 2007 to 2012 in defensive rebounding. And in 2013, they went from worst to first.
Now here's Parker after the miss from Stephen Curry. Leonard dishes to Diaw. Back to Leonard. Out to Parker. From deep. Warriors with the rebound.
Boy, that was way behind the line. Now, he can make that at times.
He certainly is one of the guys that can actually do it from there.
Curry kicks to Thompson. He dishes it to Lee. Parker against Curry. From the line. Jump shot is good. And it's a 3-point Warrior lead.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
Diaw, the screen. Parker passes to Diaw. Leonard kicks to Parker. Parker left side. Back to Leonard. Unloads. Another miss by Leonard.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
26 seconds left here in the second. Lee sets a screen for Curry. Thompson outside. From deep. And he gets it to go. Thompson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Warriors. 15 seconds left in the first half. There's the pick. Parker dishes to Leonard. And it's good, and the assist by Parker. Leonard's got 5 points so far.
How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
And we finished.
Yes, Kevin, thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Really an incredible game from Stephen Curry.
You know, he spoils us with his performances game in and game out, and so far, just another big scoring night for him.
Typically, when he puts up that many points in the first half, he's going to follow it up with a better second half. We'll see if that happens here.
Steph, Klay, and Dre on the perimeter. Draymond Green is out there with Harrison Barnes. That's the Warriors' 5. Now the feed to Green. Outside Leonard. The 3-ball. No good. And Golden State will go the other way with it.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, they're fighting for every loose ball, putting a body on somebody and going after the rim.
Now here's Barnes. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9.
Well, some nights Kawhi Leonard will give you 20 points, some nights he'll give you 6, but he always keeps his focus on the defensive end of the court where he's become the Spurs' designated stopper.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, gentlemen, Stephen Curry, arguably the league's best perimeter shooter. Curry said, I love everything about shooting, but mostly that perfect form when your body is in rhythm from the time you plant your feet to the time you release the ball. Everything is smooth and calm. It moves through you like a wave. It's a beautiful thing. Kevin, no doubt.
It is indeed. Thanks, Doris. And here is Curry following the three-pointer by Tony Parker. And Thompson kicks to Green. Shot clock at 5. Golden State needs to get off a shot. And he gets it to go. 14 points for Steph Curry. And Kawhi Leonard possessing a range 7'4" arm span.
Not to mention those gigantic mitts of his. I mean, those are almost 12 inches across, Kevin. And he knows how to use them. It's not just that he's long and he's got big hands. This kid showed an aggressiveness and a confidence in the NBA Finals last season that really, really was impressive.
Good comment. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Green. Parker outside. Pass to Ginobili. Duncan down low. He's covered by Thompson. It's Ginobili with the drive. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Offline with his 3. Warriors leading by 8. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He told them they should be dedicating themselves to hitting the offensive glass with everything they've got from now on, even if that means it takes them away from defensive transition. The next message he had for them was that they should be attacking the basket on offense. He felt very strongly that the defense they're up against is vulnerable down low. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
All right, Doris. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
Well, it's really hard to find a more pure, accurate shooting stroke than Klay Thompson's. I mean, every season over 40% from distance, but he's working to diversify his offensive game. You know, he's posting up and using his ball handling skills to get inside some.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Bogut comes in for Barnes, and it's Livingston in for Curry. Bellinelli, he's checked in for San Antonio. Mills comes in for Parker. Dunk last season and deliver against Kyle Singler. Remember that of the Pistons?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, he's been trying to go inside more. And last year, he thought, you know, he'd have to work at it to get to the line more. Only averaged about 2 free throw attempts per game for his career. So that's the next step for him to be more aggressive attacking.
Mills with it. Barbosa picks him up. Mills passes to Duncan. Ginobili outside. Lets it fly from 18. And it's off the back rim. No good.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
On the wing, it's Iguodala. He kicks to Livingston. Back to Iguodala. All alone. And it's good, assisting on the play with Livingston. Iguodala's got 5 points now this quarter.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Leonard with a screen on Iguodala. Mills dishes to Ginobili. Spurs working the ball around now. And Mills kicks to Ginobili. The pass to Mills. Out of bounds. Golden State takes possession.
Well, I think that pass caught him off guard, but he showed us board hands, too.
The Warriors making a switch here. Green's checked in. San Antonio also making some changes. Baines is checked in. And Boris Diaw is sub for Leonard. Livingston passes to Iguodala. Here is Livingston. At the top of the key, Barbosa. Almost, but it rolls out. Spurs trail by 12. And Ginobili. Here we go. San Antonio again missing. 3 on 3. Here's Barbosa. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Barbosa's got his first points in this one. And here now is our State Farm assist to the game, and Steve coming earlier on a three-pointer.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good passes tonight, some on the interior. This one on the outside, setting up his teammate perfectly for that three-point look.
On the floor for San Antonio, starting the fourth quarter. Boris Diaw is out there with Green, and it's Mills. Then it's Aaron Baines, and it's Parker in at the point guard position. Here's Curry. Boris Diaw picking up that last basket. Curry kicks to Lee. Hits the jumper. Lee's got the lead up to 14 now for the Warriors.
That time the defenders were a little lazy getting to him.
Parker outside, up top Mills. Back to Parker. Parker left side. There's a screen. 14 feet away, and it's good. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Outside Curry. Lee sets a screen for Curry. Feeds it to Lee. On the wing, Thompson. From 13, Green. Nice persistence to chip it back up and in. And the Warriors lead by 14.
Smooth, guys. Very good job there of getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
And you know, those kind of plays in the offensive glass can tell the story sometimes as much as any single play in a game.
Yeah, they really can. I mean, they can't allow him to beat them to so many of those offensive rebounds. That'll kill you.
Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Lee. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He didn't exactly take it easy on them, saying, how much do you want it? Don't tell me. Show me out there. We have to play better. We have to play harder if we're going to come back. Guys?
Now Curry. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. Green dishes to Thompson. 6 on the shot clock. From the stripe, and he hits the jumper for 2.
Well, he knew that with his height advantage over his man, it was really a good decision just to rise up and take the jump shot.
Duncan with the screen for Parker. Duncan against Iguodala. Duncan kicks to Parker. It's stolen by Curry. And here we go with Curry running it up the court. And Splitter pulls it down. Spurs trail by 16. The drive by Green. Green against Leonard. Just 5 on the clock. Right side Leonard. Second shot opportunity. Splitter. That's good.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
Warriors leading by 14. Now a timeout called by Golden State. Well, going into last season, Tiago Splitter accepting a 4-year, $36 million extension fee from the Spurs.
A lot of people questioned the value of that contract, but Splitter more than earned it with his play throughout the regular season and in the playoffs. He's versatile. He can pass. He can defend. And even though his numbers were down a little bit last year, he made tremendous impact just in terms of their interior play.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, during that last break, I heard the Warriors coach as he addressed his team. He made sure that everyone was on the same page and that the offense needed to run through Stephen Curry. Their offense is most effective, Coach said, when he is most involved, and they're looking for total involvement from him for the rest of this game. The other thing he stressed was the need to be disciplined on offense. He asked for good ball movement and good shot selection. So, Coach, waiting until the final stages to pull a few tricks out of his sleeve. Kevin, let's see if he's made a wise decision.
Thanks, Doris.
And Splitter, clearly, when you look at him offensively, is not a floor spacer. He's a guy who's going to finish inside. He's going to set solid screens. Even though he plays close to the basket, his field goal percentage dropped by almost 10% over the last couple of seasons. He was once superb in that area. Now he's just rock solid. But with the Spurs, in his role, rock solid is good enough.
And these are the types of games where it's obvious one team clearly had the edge. Tonight, it's going to be a great win by a large margin for the Warriors.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, Clark, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Well, it's more than luck, Kevin. I think the shot selection was good, too.
Fantastic show put on. What an amazing game all around it was for Steph Curry. He was extremely efficient offensively, getting looks, knocking down big shots all game long. Splitter still shooting over 90% of his shots in the paint, but less effective down low. Injuries perhaps a factor. We'll see if he can bounce back.
The drive by Green. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Tim Duncan picks one up.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that one.
Different look here for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut checked in for Iguodala. Lee comes in for Harrison Barnes. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Ginobili with the ball. Barbosa picks him up. Baines passes to Mills. Puts up a 3. And he gets it to go.
What a terrific job to get the release perfect that time. I thought it might get blocked or deflected, but nice stroke.
Even with giving up a lot of size in that matchup, still able to get off a nice long-range shot there.
So we see the Wolves.
Yes, Kevin.